Welcome to How's That Working For You with Dr. Suzette
and Sister Sophia.
Our show is designed to help you learn more about emotional, mental, and spiritual health.
Let's talk.
Good afternoon and welcome to How's That Working For You with Dr. Suzette and Sister Sophia. And if you're just joining us, I want you to know that I am Dr. Suzette Sims. I'm a licensed psychologist and I'm the owner and director of Dayspring Counseling Services.
And I am Sister Sophia Avery, owner of Christian Talk Therapy, and I am a Christian therapist in practice in Valley Kenwood.
And our show is designed to provide you with wise counsel for your emotional, mental, and spiritual health concerns. Sister Sophia and I are actually practicing clinicians. We are in practice. We see folks that come into our office, and we help them out with different life issues that come up and that they struggle with. So what we want you to do is to feel free to use us during this time. You can reach us by phone at 610-277-9449. That's 610-277-9449. Or if you're in Jersey and Delaware, it's 1-800-887-9627. That's 1-800-887-9627. You can also find us on Facebook at Philly Talk Show, all one word. And you can also send us an email if you maybe don't have access to Facebook or you can't reach us by phone. If you have a question or concern, you can reach us at phillytalkshow@yahoo.com to send us an email. And today we are here to talk about change.
Yes. Change is hard for many people, and many of us struggle to make the changes in life that we know we need to make, but still aren't able to quite get it together to make them. Now, I'm guilty. I know I'm not the only one, but I'm guilty of procrastinating at times when I know I need to do something different. I just can't seem to get my head around it. Can't seem to make that first step. And we need to address the issues that keep us from making the changes in life that we know we need to make, and maybe even the changes that God is asking us to make in our lives. Sometimes we struggle to obey when He asks us to make changes. So we want to talk about change a little bit today.
If you're struggling with something that you need to make a decision about, if you need to change something, what is it that you need to change right now that you feel stuck in, that maybe you're not sure what to do? And if Sister Sophia and I can help you out, call us up, 610-277-9449, 610-277-9449, or 1-800-887-9627. What are you struggling with? What is it that you need to change that you feel stuck in, and how can we help you? So, Sophia, today we're talking about change, and I know that you wanted to share a little bit about the different stages of change, or how it is that people process through change.
Absolutely. And there's a doctor by the name of Prochaska and DiClemente who have outlined their model of the stages of change. And I want to just review those stages and kind of talk about how they apply in our everyday life. So the first stage is pre-contemplation. In the first stage, pre-contemplation, that's when you really aren't thinking about changing. It just sounds like a good idea. Like when I look on, commercials on TV, and they say, are you ready to lose weight? And, in that commercial, you might not have been thinking about it at that moment, but you listen to the commercial. Not sure if it's something I really want to do right now, but it's interesting to listen to, and you might even watch the infomercial, right? Might even watch the infomercial. And, it sounds interesting, and that's the pre-contemplation stage. Yeah, it's something I've been thinking about over the years. Yeah, I do need to get my degree. Yes, I do need to change careers. Yes, I would like to live a happier life. Yes, my cholesterol is too high. But is it something I'm really ready to do now? No. And that's the pre-contemplation stage. What do you think of that, Dr. Suzette?
Well, you know what? As you're saying that, I'm thinking about, having been in the store this week. And like nowadays they have like these Vitamixers, right? Like you see these big blenders and it's like you can juice all kinds of stuff and get all the vitamins and minerals. And I think I'm in that pre-contemplation stage of like, oh yeah, like that looks like a good idea. I don't really have a plan to do anything about it. I really wasn't even aware that such of a thing existed. But now that I've seen it, I'm like, that might actually be a good thing. Maybe if you don't really want to eat too heavy and you just still want your vitamins and minerals from stuff, you know. So I think, you know, as I'm hearing you talk about pre-contemplation, I can put myself in the middle of the supermarket and see this huge Vitamixer stand and actually start thinking like, wow, maybe I should get one of those. But again, I haven't thought about it since I left the store, haven't done anything about it. So I think we all fall into that pre-contemplation stage, even if it's just not a big major change, but just something simple, like adding a particular like thing to your kitchen or to your house or something like that.
Right. And that's a perfect example of the pre-contemplation stage. You know, it sounds like a good idea. It probably would benefit you. Probably is something you need to do, but right now just not really thinking about actually doing anything.
And
that's
you know,
the first stage.
But you know what? That's also similar to the concept of counseling, right? Some of you out there listening, and by the way, you're listening to How's That Working For You with Dr. Suzette and Sister Sophia, and you can reach us here at 610-277-9449. That's 610-277-9449. Or 1-800-887-9627. And you can call us if you have a question or concern about change. If you are in the middle of maybe thinking about a particular decision and you need some help, if you feel stuck, please call in and let us know. But sometimes people can be in that pre-contemplation stage around counseling, right? You think about it, you're listening to the show, and you're thinking, yeah, that might be a good idea. Yeah, I probably could use it, you know, but I'm not ready to do anything about it yet.
Right. And that's a perfect example of the pre-contemplation stage, listening to the show. But that might also take you into the next stage, which is the contemplation. Okay, at this stage, you're still kind of sitting on the fence, but at least now you're on the fence. Right? You're thinking, maybe I should call them, let me write the number down. Right? It's like, what's Sister Sophia's number again? What's Dr. Suzette's number? You might have written a number down this time. Now you're in the contemplation stage. You're kind of thinking about the pros and cons. Well, what if I do go? What if I don't go? What if I buy the Vitamixer? Will it help me in my health? If I don't, you know, how much does it cost? Can I afford it? Those are the things that we get to in the contemplation stage. We start thinking about it.
Okay, so like being aware that, okay, yeah, I am having a problem. I really am needing to do something about the problem, but I'm not ready to commit and say I'm ready to call and make that appointment. I know that I struggle with, you know, I mean, we're talking about food. I know I struggle with overeating and I should do something about it, but I'm not ready to call and make an appointment to get that help for it.
Right, but I wrote the number down. I have the number. You know, I can tell story after story of clients who have come to me who said, you know, I got your number a year ago, or somebody gave me your card a year ago, and I've had it all this time, and now I'm coming to you a year later. That's a year spent in the contemplation stage.
Right.
Which is good, but at least you have the number.
But there's something that comes out of contemplating, right? And you mentioned the number. And by the way, the number to call us if you're considering a change and you're contemplating what to do about it is 610-277-9449. That's 610-277-9449. You know, being in that contemplation stage, sometimes there's a benefit that comes out of staying there, right? Like sometimes just being able to say, you know what, I'm thinking about it. Sometimes for a lot of folks, that's enough to be able to say, well, I'm acknowledging that it's there, and that's good enough. And a lot of times we go through life with this idea that, it's good enough that I'm thinking about it, and it's good enough that I know I should do something about it, because then that means I really am tuned into myself, and I really am tuned into, what's going on. But over time, that benefit of staying in that contemplation stage wears off. And you no longer can continue functioning just thinking about it, because that thought in and of itself then starts to take over, and you start to be concerned about it and have a difficult time functioning around that problem that you realize exists. And right now, the problem that we have is that we have to take a commercial break. And it's not so much of a problem, but, we do want to give you some time to think about what we've been talking about. And I want you to take the time to contemplate whether or not you want to call us up and let us know whether or not you could use our help with something that you are struggling with or that you feel stuck by. At 610-277-9449. That's 610-277-9449. Or 1-800-887-9627. Give us a call and let us know what it is that you are struggling with. What change are you considering making that you're not sure of what to do about it? And we will be right back after this break. Dayspring Counseling Services provides individual and group counseling services to adults, children, and couples. If you are having problems setting limits or communicating with your child or teen, if you feel disconnected in your marriage or relationship, or if you need direction with your career, Dayspring is here to help. With convenient locations in Bala Cynwyd, Exton, and Paoli, our therapists will provide the support and professional guidance you need. Contact us on the web at dayspringpa.com or by phone at 610-363-2088. Again, our web address is www.dayspringpa.com or our phone number 610-363-2088. Dayspring Counseling Services, helping to bring light into the lives of others. Don't wait another day to get help.
Are you in need of counseling but think you can't afford it? Christian Talk Therapy offers individual sessions from only $50 and couple sessions for only $80. Also, we offer packages: 3 individual sessions for $100, 3 couple sessions for $160. Can you afford not to get counseling? Call today and schedule your appointment. 215-375-7879, extension 44. That's 215-375-7879, extension 44. Call today.
Attention, business owners. Are you in the process of designing or redesigning your website? If so, remember the right photos can make a huge difference in the overall impression and effectiveness of your website. Too many websites are ruined because of poor photo choices or low-quality photos. Remember, when visitors are viewing your website, they are making a snap decision on the credibility of your company, and at that very moment, your website is setting a tone. This is your chance to capture that audience and impress them with the images of your work. At TrueVine Photography, our commercial photographers can assist you with your photos, providing you with high-quality images that will set you apart from your competition. Some of our clients include Liberty Mutual, U Financial, Chick-fil-A, Electrical Plus, Bold and Beautiful Salon, Dayspring Counseling, and many, many more. Please contact us at 610-428-6469. That's 610-428-6469 or at TrueVinePhoto.com. That's TrueVinePhoto.com. Because at TrueVine Photography, we not only take pictures, we stop time. Welcome back. I'm Dr. Suzette Sims, and you are listening to How's That Working For You with Dr. Suzette and Sister Sophia. And my co-host is Sister Sophia Avery with Christian Talk Therapy. And if you're just joining us, today we are talking about change. And one of the things that I do want to mention is that I am with Dayspring Counseling Services, and Dayspring Counseling has locations in Bala Cynwyd, Exton, and Paoli. And we do have therapists that can help you if you're struggling with change. If you feel like you're in that place where, you're preparing or contemplating counseling, give us a call. And similarly, Sister Sophia Avery has a practice in Bala Kenwood, and it's called Christian Talk Therapy. And Sophia can be reached. Sophia, can you give them your... Oh, I'm sorry. Well, Sophia can be reached at ChristianTalkTherapy.com. Again, ChristianTalkTherapy.com. And if you want to make an appointment with Sophia also helps people who struggle with change or contemplating a change. If you're in a relationship or want to change jobs or even struggling spiritually, Sophia is very skilled at helping you figure out why you're stuck, where it is you're stuck, and what changes it is that you want to make. And I can be reached, just so you know, at dayspringpa.com. That's dayspringpa.com. And you can reach me there. Now, right now, we have a caller on the line, and we have Chris on line 1. Hi, Chris.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
All right.
Chris, could you turn your radio down?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've been struggling with smoking cigarettes. I want to quit cigarettes, but I did a number of things, but I just haven't really stopped.
Okay.
I got lozenges. I called the Nicotine Anonymous. Called the Smoke Line. But I haven't really stopped. I still buy cigarettes, or if I don't buy packs of cigarettes, I buy Lucy's.
Okay. So it sounds like you kind of know that there's a problem. You know that you need to stop. You're seriously thinking about trying to overcome it. But it sounds like, as far as stopping, I mean, you've committed to not buying packs of cigarettes, but now you're buying the loose cigarettes. So I guess I'm wondering whether or not you've fully committed to actually stopping.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. It's hard. I wish I'd never smoked in my life, but it's too late for that. I don't want to catch COPD. I don't want to catch lung cancer. I don't want to catch. I don't want to get emphysema and all that stuff. I know it's bad for me.
Mm-hmm.
I know I should quit, but it's a habit. It's a habit I've been doing since I was 15.
What are you getting out of the habit? How does it help you to smoke?
Well, I think it's a coping mechanism. I smoke when I'm happy. I smoke when I'm sad. I smoke when I'm lonely. I smoke when I'm bored. I smoke when I'm upset. I smoke when I'm don't have nothing to do. I smoke after I eat. I smoke after I drink something.
Okay. So you have learned to pair together or associate smoking with an activity or with something else. You tend to put those two together. Well, you have a certain routine, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like then the benefit for you could be maybe the predictability of it, or kind of knowing that you're going to get this release as a result of smoking. I mean, there's something that does physiologically happen. There's something physical that happens as a result of smoking, where your body then becomes addicted to that feeling. So for you, it sounds like that when you do you have a radio on, Chris?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you mind turning it off? There's just
Okay.
a lot of sound bouncing back and forth, so I'm hearing an echo. Thank you so much. That sounds so much better. It sounds like that for you, that when you do these particular things, the benefit that you're getting out of it is this physical change that's happening within your body. And so one of the things that will probably help is learning how to associate something else with those feelings or activities or events rather than smoking. If what you've if what you've been doing is you've been doing this since you were 15, it sounds like you haven't really ever learned another coping skill to help you with whatever it is that you're going through. And part of the process is going to be learning a new skill and incorporating that. It doesn't mean that you necessarily stop, right? Like if what you're saying is, this is the coping skill that I've had, this is kind of what I do. And if you take that coping skill away without replacing it with something else first, you're probably going to be unsuccessful at maintaining that. So one of the things that you might want to try is just thinking about, number one, counseling could probably help. I know you've talked about like smoking cessation stuff and like different things to stop. Some people take the nicotine patches, right? Like here are all these things that you can do to wean yourself. The other thing you can do is just, maybe counseling can also help you with that emotional component that's associated with the smoking. Like you said, I smoke when I'm happy. I smoke when I'm sad. I smoke when I'm lonely. I smoke, right? So there's a reason why you're doing it, and counseling can help you uncover that. But it can also help you figure out, well, what else could you do in place of it while you're learning how to stop smoking rather than just stopping.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I think another thing, Chris, is, do you believe you can stop smoking? Like with God's help, do you believe that that's something you can do?
Yeah, I pray about it every night, and plus what I do is that I say to myself that I've seen other people quit, and if they can quit, I can do it. If they can do it, I can do it. So I tell myself that to encourage myself, to say that, it can be done, even though I haven't done it, that I've seen other people have quit. So.
Right. And I think that's important to sometimes we focus so much on the end result that we can't appreciate the steps that it takes to get there. So, kind of challenge yourself and, maybe say, okay, today I'm going to do, 3 hours without a cigarette. And maybe do that for a week, and then do 4 hours. Like I call them baby steps. Take baby steps to kind of wean yourself off. See if you can cut down first. That may be an easier way than just going cold turkey if you're having problems, because sometimes you can feel defeated. Like if you go for a week and then you pick up a cigarette, you might feel like, oh, look, I failed, and I'm not successful. Instead of saying, oh, look, I kind of fell off the horse, but I'm going to get right back on the horse because I know I can do this. So maybe think about how do you talk to yourself when you're going through the process of stopping smoking? Mm-hmm. Are you encouraging for yourself, saying, I know I can do this? Or are you more negative, saying, look, you can't, you failed, or you couldn't do it, or why even try? How do you deal with yourself?
Well, I tell myself that when I fail, I go back and buy a pack of cigarettes. I mean, when I fail, I go buy a pack of cigarettes, and then I start to say, well, this going to be the last pack. Mm-hmm. And then I buy loose ones, and then I just give in again and then buy another pack.
Okay, so why don't you try this? When you make, when you fall off the horse, let yourself, forgive yourself for that one, but then pick up that, for the next hour and say, okay, I'm going to do another 2 hours instead of going to buy the pack. Try to encourage yourself to get back on track instead of giving in to the whole temptation and buying a pack. Just take it like as they say in AA, take it one day at a time.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, and say, I smoke one. And, maybe even don't smoke a whole one. Get 2 or 3 puffs and then put it out.
It's like an addiction.
It is an addiction. It is an addiction.
And what happens is that like it affects my brain because if I don't get one, it's still like I'm gonna die.
Right.
But that's not true.
No, I know that's not true, but in my brain it tells me that I'm gonna die without one.
Yep, and that's your brain lying to you. You tell your brain that's the devil, you shut up, I'm not going to die. Right? You have to speak the word to yourself.
Yeah.
But the other
Speak the word to yourself. You're not going to die. That's just your brain and the devil trying to trick you and make you stay addicted to a substance.
Right, and Chris, one thing I just want to mention is that, one of the ways that you can go about defeating those distortions, and I call them distortions, Sophia calls them lies, and, there's the same thing. You have to go through the process of challenging that, where you say, okay, well, let me test this out. Let's see if in an hour if I'm dead as a result of not smoking, right? So then that way you can kind of say to yourself, you know what? The last time I thought I was going to die, I actually didn't die. So what you're doing is you're accumulating evidence of how that thought is not true. And you want to challenge that, but the more that you let that thought, basically the emotions are starting to master you. Where that emotion of, oh my gosh, you're going to die, like you really need it, is taking over. And then you feel defeated. You feel a lack of control. And then what happens when you feel a lack of control? Well, then you probably feel stressed out, and then you probably want to smoke, right? So it starts you through this process all over again. And one of the things that Sophia said is right on, which is, try to avoid that pattern that you go through of what you do when you're defeated. Rather than going and smoking a pack and saying, I'll just try again tomorrow. You can try again the next hour. Like, you do not have to wait a whole other day or convince yourself that, okay, this will be my last pack, right? The other thing that I would suggest that you do, because there's a resistance. There's something that's going on where you are not changing the behavior, and that's because there are a lot of advantages that you're getting out of it. And one of the things that I would suggest is that you would create like an advantage-disadvantage list, right? Like an old-fashioned pro-con list. And I want you to list out, what are the advantages of my smoking? What am I getting out of smoking, right? What am I getting out of it emotionally, physically, mentally, whatever that is? And then also create that disadvantage list. How is this affecting me negatively? What are the negatives of it? And then at the end of that, you're going to compare the two lists and say, okay, how do these two things rank? Do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages? Do the disadvantages outweigh the advantages? Because if the advantages outweigh the disadvantages, and this is coming from a cognitive behavioral perspective, right? Like I do cognitive behavioral therapy. But if those advantages outweigh the disadvantages, it's going to be very difficult to stop that behavior unless you find a way to replace those advantages with something else, because you could be just feeling like you get too much out of it. So if, in fact, you say, okay, well, I feel happier when I smoke. Okay, well, then how do you replace that? How do you say, okay, well, what else can I do to feel happier other than smoking? And then what you do is you start to integrate some of those other things that still meet those needs. And then over time, you may not need the smoking as much because you've replaced it with something else that's giving you the same benefit. And now that's more of like the mental part, because the physical part is a different part, because you are going to go through those withdrawal symptoms when you stop using something that your body gets dependent on. But after about a week or so, and it goes with, smoking, quitting sugar, any particular behavior, after about a week, those cravings actually decrease. There's a period of time where they peak and you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die. I really need it. But once you pass that peak time, that desire for it starts to decrease over time. But you have to let yourself get to that place of feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die, and then not giving into it.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Well, hopefully, Sophia and I have helped you out a little bit with some different tidbits of information and different things that you can try. And, like Sophia said, and like you were saying as well, keep using prayer. Keep asking God to help you. But you also have to take those steps as well. That desire in and of itself may not just stop by itself, but you're going to have to put forth some effort in that. So try to combine some of those things that we've talked about. And then if you still, need some help with quitting smoking, or, just those issues that are leading to smoking, call or contact Sophia, she's at ChristianTalkTherapy.com. You can reach out to us at Dayspring at DayspringPA.com, or someone else that would be able to help you, just more in depth. I know we've only had a little bit of time on the radio, but maybe somebody with whom you develop a relationship and they can help you over time with it.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, and just believe in yourself. You can do it. It's not more powerful than you and God put together. Just remember that.
That's right.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Chris. And we need to take a short break here at How's That Working For You with Dr. Suzette and Sister Sophia. And if you are struggling with something in your life that you need to make a change about, that you're not sure of how to change, or maybe you just feel unsure about what to do, or you're not even sure if you want to go through whatever the stress is related to change, give us a call here at 610-277-9449. That's 610-277-9449, or 1-800-887-9627. And we will be right back after this break.
Christian Talk Therapy is a place where healing happens. We understand how hard it can be to talk about your personal issues, but it's much harder to live with emotional pain, frustration, and sadness. God wants you to be free. The Bible instructs us to bear one another's burdens, and at Christian Talk Therapy, that's what we do. Call today to schedule your first individual session with a Christian therapist. 215-375-7879, extension 44. We keep our rates affordable so you can get the help you need. Call today, 215-375-7879, extension 44. If you would like more information, please visit our website at ChristianTalkTherapy.com. Christian Talk Therapy, a place where healing happens.
I hear the Spirit say that it's your time. The waiting is over. Walk into your season.
Do you ever feel empty, up one day and down the next? Do you ever do something to feel better that you later regret? Well, if so, Dayspring Counseling has a group for you. The DBT Skills Group will teach you how to manage your emotions, be more assertive, communicate effectively, and improve your relationships. Beginning June 11th, the group will be held in the Bala-Cynwyd location, and it will run on Tuesdays from 6 to 7:45 p.m. Call Dayspring at 610-363-2040, again 610-363-2040, and let us know if you're interested. You can also find us on the web at dayspringpa.com. dayspringpa.com. Contact us and you can learn skills that lead to a better life.
Marriage can be difficult. If you're not happy, don't wait until it's too late. Get counseling. Many couples try to work things out themselves. Not the best idea, because you don't know what you don't know. Call us at Christian Talk Therapy and invest in your marriage. Stop the suffering. Don't wait until it's too late. Call today to make your appointment for marriage counseling. And if your spouse won't come, you can come alone, and with God's help, we can help you make changes to improve your marriage. Make your appointment for marriage counseling today. Call 215-375-7879, extension 44, or make your appointment online at ChristianTalkTherapy.com. Don't wait until it's too late.
Dayspring Counseling Services provides individual and group counseling services to adults, children, and couples. If you're feeling down, tired, depressed, if you struggle with anxiety or just stress, if it seems as though you're just coping with loss after loss, and if you're having trouble in your relationships and within your family, call one of our therapists today and set up an appointment. It may be helpful to you and your loved ones to seek help. Dayspring Counseling Services has locations in Bala-Cynwyd, Exton, and Paoli, and our therapists can assist you with various problems in your life. Contact us today on the web at www.dayspringpa.com. Again, www.dayspringpa.com, or call us at 610-363-2088. Dayspring Counseling Services, helping to bring light into the lives of others. And we're back, and you are listening to How's That Working For You with Dr. Suzette and Sister Sophia. I'm Dr. Suzette Sims, licensed psychologist and owner and director of Dayspring Counseling Services. And my co-host is Sister Sophia Avery, owner and therapist at Christian Talk Therapy. You can reach us. You can reach me at dayspringpa.com. That's dayspringpa.com, or 610-363-2040. Again, 610-363-2040.
Or you can reach me, Sister Sophia, at ChristianTalkTherapy.com. The number is 215-375-7879. 215-375-7879. I appreciate the last caller, Chris. I think, his issue is one that can be applicable to a multitude of different types of addictions or strongholds that we have in our lives. So his particular addiction was cigarettes, but we can also apply that to alcohol, eating, overworking, going what we call religiosity when you go to church a lot. All of those things are ways for us to distract ourselves from the pain that we have inside. And, of course, counseling is one of the best answers, in addition to, of course, the help of God through Jesus. So I want to get back to the stages of change. So the first stage that we talked about in our first section was pre-contemplation. That's when you're not really thinking about changing. You maybe heard a commercial or you saw an infomercial, then it sounded interesting, but you're not really thinking about doing anything. The second stage was contemplation. At this point, you're sitting on the fence. So at least now, the pre-contemplation stage, you're still sitting on the couch. So in the contemplation stage, now you're sitting on the fence. So you're kind of back and forth. Do I really want to do it? Is it going to take a lot from me? Do I have the time? Do I have the money to buy the thing, the treadmill, buy the, gym membership? That's the contemplation stage. The third stage is preparation. So now you're moving toward doing it. Now I need to prepare myself and get some things in place so that I can be successful in making this change in my life.
I'm sorry, Sophia, one of the things I just wanted to throw out there is that, if you are in that contemplation stage, one of the things that can help you prepare is to give us a call and see whether or not we can help you. Plan out what it is that you need help with and give us a call here at 610-277-9449. That's 610-277-9449 or 1-800-887-9627. Again, 610-277-9449.
Right. Absolutely. And in the third stage, preparation, this is when you're getting ready to do it. And one of the things that is most helpful in this stage is to find a social support group. Find a support group, some people that are doing the thing that you want to do, and link up with them. One of the greatest phenomenons I've seen lately is a support group for black women who want to run. It's called Black Girls Run, BGR.
I have a friend that does that.
Yeah, I have a couple of them. And it's, it's amazing that just these two women came up with the concept of having these support groups for black women running, getting together and run, and it has spread all over the country. So the social support is important for your success ultimately. And locating groups that are doing the thing that you want to be successful in is a critical step in your preparation for being successful. So Black Girls Run is one. I have a group called Grateful Expectations. It's a group for women 25 and over who want to get married. So if you want to prepare to get married, you can call us and we can get you in touch with a group of women who are preparing to get married. the preparation stage is important because we ultimately want to be successful in the change. We don't want to try to go through the change. Like if you lose a lot of weight and then, a year later you gained it all back, we can't say that that's a successful lifestyle change.
Right.
So support groups are important.
And one of the things that I also want to just point out is how, one of the things that can help you as you're in the preparation stage, a useful strategy is to write down your goals. What is it that you are planning to do, right? So like in the pre-contemplation stage, you're kind of considering, well, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. Then contemplation is like, well, let me look at the pros and cons. Like, do I really want to commit to it? Am I ready to do it? What can get in the way of my doing it, right? What are the pros and cons of actually making that change? And then in the preparation stage, once you've decided that, okay, the pros outweigh the cons, I'm going to do it, write down your goals. Make a plan of action. What are you planning to do? And then you can, like Sophia said, you can then start to socialize with or get involved with people who are already doing that thing that you want to do, or they can help support you in that thing that you want to do. They can maybe help motivate you because your mind has been set that you are going to plan to go down that road. So in the preparation stage, you really do have to prepare, and that means you have to know what you're doing and you have to have an idea about how you're going to do it.
Right. And also in this preparation stage, you want to identify any obstacles that might stand in the way of your success. Identify any obstacles. So if God has called you to, say, be a pastor or be a minister of some type, and, right now you work full-time and you work on weekends, and there's no way you can find or see to be able to minister to people, you want to start dealing with those obstacles with God and say, okay, Lord, if you want me to be a minister, what can I do about this job? You want me to minister on the job? Do you want me to stop working? You want me to go part-time? And that's with anything. Identify the obstacles and work through them.
Right. And if you have some obstacles that are getting in the way of you moving forward on your goal, and you need some help on figuring out how to make a plan of actions to keep yourself from being weighed down by those, call us up and maybe we can help you work it through. 610-277-9449. That's 610-277-9449 or 1-800-887-9627. Here at How's That Working For You with Dr. Suzette and Sister Sophia, we want to help you be successful at coming through making a particular change or working through that change. And one of the things that I just want to add, just in regards to the preparation stage, we were just talking to Chris on the line a little bit ago about wanting to quit smoking. And, another strategy, would be to switch brands, right? Like Sophia talked about smoking less each day, or, waiting a couple of hours between each cigarette than what you usually do. The other thing you can try to do is switch brands, right? So then you're changing it up. You're doing something different that, although the behavior is the same, your experience of doing it will be different. It might not taste the same, even though it's the same action. But unless you are in an environment that you have either have support or people giving you ideas, or you have decided or have prepared how you're going to work through that plan, that will increase the amount of success that you have. Is having that plan, knowing how to work it through, and like Sophia is saying, enlisting God's help in you being successful with that.
Right. And that's important in your preparation stage. There will be things that you can do to put in place so that you can succeed. You want to do all of that in your preparation stage because, of course, the next stage you're going to take action. That's when you actually do it. That's when you strap on your sneakers and actually go out and run with Black Girls Run. See, I'm in the preparation stage with Black Girls Run. I bought my new pair of sneakers. I joined their online Facebook group. I'm in the preparation stage for Black Girls Run. So I'm thinking maybe in a month, 3 months, maybe 4, I'll be out there running too. It can happen.
Of
Stranger
course.
things have happened.
Well, you know what? It definitely will happen if you decide on it and you make a plan, right? Like, you got to
Right.
first know, where do they meet? You got to know what time. You got to know how long they run. Like, you got to gather information that will help you make a decision about whether or not that's something that you're going to do. Sounds like you're doing it.
Yep, got my sneakers and everything. Okay, so the next stage is action. That's when you put it all together. That's when you go to the first meeting. You put on your new sneakers. You wrap up your hair so that you won't sweat it out. That's when you go. Action stage. And then we have to allow for setbacks. You know, I may not go every day. I may go once a week, and then I may go twice a week. But we want to work on continuing the behavior for 3 to 6 months. We want to work on continuing the behavior. And in doing that, it'll help to solidify the change in life. So my lifestyle will have to change. Some of the things that I do will have to change in order to accommodate this new thing that I'm incorporating into my lifestyle.
Right. And one of the things that we have to do right now, though, is just take a really quick break. We talk about action. We're going to just take some action real quick, and we will be right back. But in the meantime, you can reach us at 610-277-9449. That's 610-277-9449. You're listening to How's That Working For You with Dr. Suzette and Sister Sophia, and we will be right back. Truvine Photography has been servicing the Delaware Valley with exceptional service since 2011. Truvine specializes in commercial and real estate photography. With 85% of buyers shopping online, it's crucial that your photos stand out. Allow their professional photographer to produce that unique, one-of-a-kind photograph that will immediately grab the attention of that potential buyer. If you believe you're offering a quality product, then why let it down due to poor presentation? Call them today at 610-428-6469. That's 610-428-6469. Or visit them on the web at www.truvinephoto.com. That's www.truvinephoto.com. At Truvine Photography, we not only take pictures, we create works of art.
Are you in need of counseling but think you can't afford it? Christian Talk Therapy offers individual sessions from only $50 and couple sessions for only $80. Also, we offer packages, 3 individual sessions for $100, 3 couple sessions for $160. Can you afford not to get counseling? Call today and schedule your appointment. 215-375-7879, extension 44. That's 215-375-7879, extension 44. Call today.
Are you feeling down, tired, or depressed? Do you feel stressed or anxious? Does it seem as though you are coping with loss after loss? Dayspring Counseling Services can help. If you have thought counseling might help you or someone you care about, contact Dayspring Counseling Services at www.dayspringpa.com. That's dayspringpa.com. Or you can call us at 610-363-2088 and we can get in contact with you. Don't wait another day to get help. With locations in Bala Cynwyd, Exton, and Paoli, our therapists can assist you with various problems in your life. Contact us today on the web at dayspringpa.com or at 610-363-2088. Dayspring Counseling Services, helping to bring light into the lives of others. Welcome back. You're listening to How's That Working For You with Dr. Suzette and Sister Sophia. I am Dr. Suzette Sims, a licensed psychologist with Dayspring Counseling Services, with locations in Bala Cynwyd, Exton, and Paoli. And my co-host is Sister Sophia Avery, and Sister Sophia is the owner and therapist at Christian Talk Therapy with location in Bala Cynwyd. And if you want to make an appointment with Sophia, you can reach her at 215-375-7879. That's 215-375-7879, or you can reach her at christiantalktherapy.com. And you can reach me at dayspringpa.com, and the telephone number is 610-363-2040. Again, 610-363-2040. And today we are talking about change, and we have been going through Prochaska's stages of change and talking about the different things involved with change. And if you are dealing with a change, if you're not sure about how to approach a particular idea that you might have, and you're contemplating and you'd like to prepare but you're not sure of what to do, call us at 610-277-9449. That's 610-277-9449 or 1-800-887-9627. And so far we have gone through pre-contemplation. We've talked about that's sort of like being on the couch, right? Like Sophia said, you said they're on the couch and you're kind of looking out the window. And then contemplation is actually being on the fence. And then preparation is figuring out, well, what direction do you want to go off of the fence? And then we talked about action, which is that idea of you're actually going to climb off the fence because you know where you want to go, you know which direction to go, you know what it is that's going to take for you to get from where you are to where you want to go, and now you're actually taking action. You've created that plan, and you are moving forward with what it is that you want to do.
Right. And in the action stage, you do have to be aware of some of your triggers, some of the things that you normally do or that have happened to you that have defeated you in the past when you tried to make changes. You have to be aware of the fact that they will rise up again. If I'm doing Black Girls Run and then it's raining one day, I'm looking out thinking, oh, no, I'm not running today. That's not going to happen. Right? That's one of the things I have to be prepared for. So how do you, in my preparation stage, then I need to get the little poncho with the hood so that I can run in the rain, because it might be necessary in order to solidify this change. It might be necessary for me to overcome my fear of getting my hair wet or my fear of getting my shoes wet. It might be necessary to overcome some of those things that cause you to step back from your goal and maybe defeat yourself. And that's some of the things that we have to be prepared for in the action stage. Because now we're doing it. I'm not smoking. I'm not drinking. I'm doing things. I'm going to my support groups, and I'm being encouraged. I'm not allowing my negative thinking to take over. I'm not following my emotions. I'm believing in myself. And in the action stage, you need all of that. And, in AA, they encourage you to do 90 meetings in 90 days. 90 meetings in 90 days. I'd say if you do 21 consecutive days of whatever your change is, that you're well on your way to forming a new habit, to creating something new in your life.
Right, and one of the things I want to interject, before the break, Sophia, you mentioned, committing to doing it for 6 months, right? Well, to a lot of folks, 6 months seems like a really long time. It's like, oh my goodness, 6 months? You mean the thing I'm doing today isn't like reaping the benefit tomorrow? Like, it's been a month. It's been 30 days. Like, how come I'm not seeing any change? What's something that you would maybe suggest to people or say to people who have that perspective of 6 months seems like forever?
I think a lot of us struggle with waiting. How do we wait successfully? Wait on the Lord and be of good courage, and He'll strengthen your heart. We have to get a perspective on waiting. So say you're 40 years old. If you had, 40, what's 40 months? 480 pennies. That's a month for every year you've been alive. A penny for every month you've been alive. 480 pennies. If we picked up 6, would you be able to notice? If you looked at the bunch, the 480 months you've been alive, if I picked up 6 of those pennies, would you even notice that there were 6 missing? No. So we have to get our perspective straight. If you've been doing a thing that's hurting you for 20 years of your life, is it even ridiculous to ask that you give me back 6 in order to make a change? No. So we have to know that change takes time. You have to be patient with yourself, be patient with the Lord making changes in you, and know that you're headed somewhere. It's not a microwave change. Microwaves, as you know, don't always heat all the way through. It's an oven type of change where it takes a while for it to heat up, and then it stays in there for a lot longer, but in the end, it stays hot a lot longer. We want to go an oven change. We want to do oven changes. So that's our action change. The last stage is maintenance. And that's once you've gone through the action, you have all your social supports in place, your negative thinking is in check. All we need now is to maintain what we have achieved. So you achieve your goal. To maintain it, we just want to put in place some things that we can do in order to continue to encourage our success. If you've lost weight, maybe you will weigh yourself once a month to see if you gained anything. And if you have, then make some changes to your diet. If you are smoking, of course, maintaining that would mean to maybe avoid areas where they smoke, get some more physical activity that allows you to expand your lungs. We need to incorporate the things that will help us maintain our new healthy change, the thing that we wanted so bad. We have to keep it.
Right, and I also want to just throw out there, during this process of change, you want to reward yourself, remember to reward yourself, but you also want to come up with some coping strategies that are going to help you deal with being tempted, because that's a very real issue, temptation, like the caller had mentioned before, the idea of, of being tempted and just feeling like, oh, I'm going to die if I don't get it. And so here are all these strategies that the enemy puts on you in order to tempt you back into that behavior that's going to ultimately be harmful for you. And what you want to do is be able to come up with some coping strategies that are going to help you deal with that temptation. What are you going to do if you're at that party and they have that cheesecake that you really like? What are you going to do? What are you going to do if you're out with your friends and they offer you a cigarette? What are you going to do if you're out and, there's alcohol present and you're trying to abstain from drinking? What are you going to do if it's raining and you should exercise and you just don't feel like it because it's raining? What coping strategies are you going to come up with that are going to help you be more successful with that action plan that you've put in place in order to maintain just those benefits and that success that you've been having?
Right. And once you get those things in place, it's easier to deal with new changes that come up. If you want to make changes in other areas of your life, you will now have a success story to tell yourself. And that's what we call self-efficacy, the belief that if you start to do something, you'll be successful at it. So now you have a high self-efficacy in change. Mm-hmm. So that's something new for you to tell yourself so that you'll feel good about anything else that you attempt. It'll build your confidence and help you to think highly of yourself, not too highly, but highly enough so that you can make the changes that you and God need you to make in order to live the life that He intended for you.
That's right. And we hope that you enjoyed our discussion today on change and stages of change. And we want to thank you for listening. Check us out on Facebook at Philly Talk Show. All one word. Post your comments and questions. And we can't wait to hear your feedback. And until next week, don't worry about anything, but pray about everything. Thank you for joining us today. The information we discussed today is not a substitute for professional counseling. If you'd like to talk to a professional counselor, you can contact us at 215-375-7879, extension 11. That's 215-375-7879, extension 11.
Or you can visit Sister Sophia at christiantalk.com. ChristianTalkTherapy.com. That's ChristianTalkTherapy.com.
And you can also reach Dr. Suzette at DayspringPA.com. That's DayspringPA.com. Or find us on Facebook at How's That Working For You with Dr. Suzette and Sister Sophia.
Join us next week on How's That Working For You with Dr. Suzette and Sister Sophia on Fridays at 1 p.m. on Gospel Highway 11.